Okay, we're going to start this out with Sirach 23, verse 15. Those who are accustomed to using abusive language. Those who are accustomed to using abusive language. Those who are accustomed to using abusive language will never become disciplined as long as they live. Will never become disciplined as long as they live. That is, if you use abusive language referring to other people, your inner self will never become appropriately disciplined as long as you live. That's a rough promise. Sirach 23, verse 15. Those who are accustomed to using abusive language will never become disciplined as long as they live. Now, I am a researcher. I am a researcher. People slander me. People use abusive language when they refer to me. Let me tell you, when they slander me and call me worthless and irresponsible and a loser because I am in full-time research, I love them because they don't understand. That's okay. They don't understand what I'm doing. They think that I don't labor while I'm in intense inner labor. That's okay. Matthew 5, verse 10 to 12. If you are seeking truth and holding on to truth, and people slander you because of your development of truth and afterlife wisdom, if they slander you and reject you, be pleased on the inside and dance and celebrate, because that is the way they have treated all truth speakers in the past. Okay, I started out my life with car research. One of the most exciting things in my life was an uncle who had a 1931 Model A and a 1934 Plymouth PE business coupe. I became interested in beautiful old antique cars. And I thought about old cars, and I looked at old cars, and I researched old cars. From my tiny, tiny youth, I learned about cars and car manufacturing and different types of cars. Many years later, there was a benefit. John Connor and Steve Moll and American Filmworks asked me if I would help them find antique car taillight lens and an old gas station. And because of my research of cars, I was invited to make money because I was an expert. And they considered me an expert. And we came together on a project, and the project won a national award. From the SAE, Society of Automotive Engineers. That's an amazing award. So I don't have any degrees, but I was a researcher, and I ended up getting a benefit. Now, then there was diner research for many, many years. Probably 600 old-style diners photographed and interviewed, and just the study, and research of the history of diners. And then there was a diner deal where I received income from two different people, $12,000 just by one referral. $12,000. Why? Because of years and years and years of research with a heart of love and fascination and appreciation of a special thing, to a point where we became experts, and something marvelous happened. Okay? American road culture. How many times have I driven all the way across the country on old highways with a fascination and love of neat old places? American road culture research. And I could make a list of other things. Beaches, living on an island, sailboats, many, many other things. American vernacular architectural style. And people can slander me. People can speak abusive language. People can speak abusive language about me if they want to. But many times when you're researching and researching and researching with all your heart, there's something coming up. I am a researcher. Okay? Now, Christianity research. I left Christianity when I was 14 years old because I could tell that it was fake. And I didn't know what the fake is, but I left. So, Christianity research. Now, I took 24 years of serious Christianity research with no negativity, no abusive language towards the Christianity teachers. But then I discovered, what are the troubles in Christianity? What are the troubles? It's in Ephesians 6. The troubles are bad spirits, spirits who literally know how to make men go crazy, spirits who know how to make rich people go crazy, spirits who know how to make poor people go crazy in specific ways, spirits who know how to make youth and children go crazy in specific ways, spirits who know how to specifically attack women and make women go insane and be self-destructive and hurt themselves and hurt their families and hurt their children. Ephesians 6. Troubles, the Christianity troubles are, number one, bad spirits. Number two, bad teachers, bad parenting, bad spiritual leadership. That is the term spiritual wickedness in influential places, Nico, in places that influence you. That means your peer group. That means your friends. That means the people closest to you that are teaching you. And if they're teaching you wrong, that's a great danger, because with their love of you, they are blending good and evil together. That's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's the loss of innocence. It's the becoming evil on the inside, and an evil family, an evil generation, evil parents and evil children. Christianity research. The troubles are bad spirits and bad peoples that are influencing us. Now, it's time to take the discoveries to the hurting masses and the youth and the children. It's book time. And if you have any interest in helping these books go forward, you will benefit enormously in many different ways. Now, this is partly a talk for closest people in my life, people that I miss. The Diner book, finally. My friend Christine, who I used to be married to, and I were researchers. We did the Diner research, and it was amazing. And my Uncle Donald, a long time ago, when Connor and company were asking me how much would I charge them to find them a handful of cool taillight lenses and an old gas station, they were working for a big corporation, a big plexiglass corporation, and they could just put this in their budget. So all I had to do is tell them a dollar amount. And I called my friend, Uncle Donald, who was a business guy, and he said, listen, a lot of times people will give abusive language. Abusive language. Those who are accustomed to using abusive language will never discipline their hearts as long as they live. Don't be accustomed to using abusive language towards people. My Uncle Donald said, I was saying, how do I charge these people? And he says, listen, people treat you as if you're not working when you're working. You've done all this research about cars and roads and all this stuff. You've spent so much time in American road culture, and it's paid off in various benefits, not all financial. Some of them are just great joys of meeting people that have built old businesses ages ago and had a great time in many seasons of the American road. But Uncle Donald said, look, people are going to treat you sometimes, if you're a sales rep or if you've done stuff, as if you're not working. But look, you have worked for a long time. You have become an expert. You have been a researcher that has gotten an understanding of American car culture and many other things. And this company, this film company, is appreciating your value. So you put a value on yourself and you give them your service. Some people aren't even going to care about what you like and what you know. They're not going to care about your car research or your American road culture research or your diner research. They're not going to give a crap. They're like, oh, those people don't even work. They don't blah, 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 blah. Okay? But he says, don't you worry about that. You put a value on yourself. And you say, okay, I will charge you blah, blah, blah to give you 5 really cool cars with taillight lenses and a really great old gas station. And they handed me a pile of cash. And that was a benefit from many, many years of research. Now, the diner research, the diner deal, that was the same deal. Okay, so the diner book. The diner book. The information has been gathered. The understanding has been had. And it is still a marvelous story of 2 kids from New Jersey who deeply appreciate having a diner every half a mile with a friendly Greek guy and friendly waitresses. The diner book and all the experience of a time of freedom. The diner book is coming up. And also a book to help the human family. The diner book. It's going to take work. There's hundreds, maybe thousands of photographs that need to be digitized. There's a story, a beautiful story. A story of America that has faded away. And I am convinced that this is going to become an interactive museum exhibit that moves, that you can walk through. And at the end of it, you can actually buy a coffee table book of the images that you walk through in a physical way. You get to see the diner waitresses. You get to interact with the menus. You get to feel New Jersey, New York, and Philly, and the East Coast of America during the punk scene and the avant-garde music and art of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. The diner book is an amazing thing that's coming up. And a book to help the human family. It's called The Family Freedom Party Handbook, a new way of looking at communion for Americans who tend to be selfish and addiction prone. So, it's book time. A book coming out of Christianity research to focus on the troubles. Maybe you're not a person that wants to focus on the troubles of the human family. You don't want to talk about bad spirits and bad spiritual leadership. Maybe you don't want to talk about that, but man, just like I became an expert in car research, just like I became an expert in diner research, and just as I became an expert in American road culture, and also sailing and racing and sailboats and American vernacular home construction styles and many other special things, just as I am a researcher and I was researching these various things for long periods of time. Now, I have done Christianity research in a serious way for 24 years. In the past few years, I am just learning how to share the things that I've learned in a happy, goofy, Mr. Rogers kind of way, without any condemnation and pride. These discoveries that I have researched, it's time to take them to the hurting masses and to the youth and to the children, because I was ripped off by the Christianity people. I love them. I mean, my parents and my elders and some of my Christianity teachers in my youth were nice to me. And I learned some interesting principles, but I'm telling you, there was so many goodies that were missing. It's finally time to bring out the Diner book. And finally time to bring out the book that's inside me to help the human family, especially drug addicts that are coming out of a great rehab center that need training on how to be a family of freedom, not like my family, not like the families that I was raised in the midst of, but a new type of family, a new way of looking at communion as a family honesty party that's open-hearted and refreshing and staying clear and looking out for one another. That's what's going on right now today. A preparation time. Thank you. Now listen, I have the better part of 20 years of Christianity research on video, visits to all kinds of cool individuals telling wild testimonies and stories, giving bits and pieces of the scriptures that are amazing. I have 20 years of video footage that actually needs to be looked through and rediscovered and edited and turned into little clips. I'm all alone. If you want to help with a book to help the human family, if you want to help with Diner Book, if you want to help with discoveries to help the hurting masses and youth and children, well then, set aside your own burdens and come close, because I'm an old guy and I'm not going to last forever. So if you help me for a little while right now, you may carry special joys and wisdom after my bones are in the grave. Let me take you to John chapter 9, verse 29. If you want to get in on the work of the Father, then connect with, pistuo, become twinsies with the one that has clearly been sent to you by the Heavenly Spirit. Connect with the one that has been sent to you by the Heavenly Spirit. I am a researcher. I hope to give you the benefits of my research and good results.